In your department, the president went up to New York Friday to give a little talk about MS-13 gangs, and as always, he gets off on other tangents, suggesting that and here are the police officers all lined up in back of him with their white gloves on, and the president, of course, had some advice on how they should handle people that they may be taking in.
When you see these thugs being thrown into the back of a paddy wagon, you just see them thrown in, rough. I said, please don't be too nice.
In other words, just give everybody the Freddie Gray treatment, right?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, it was a sort of an extraordinary moment because, I mean, let's be clear, what we're talking about here is a felony. It's a federal criminal offense. Just like any of this would be, it's a crime. So he was encouraging or giving a wink, nod, nudge, nudge to cops committing crimes. And what's extraordinary there, too, is that, I mean, Suffolk County specifically, the former police chief is actually in federal prison right now because he beat someone who stole, I believe, like maybe some sex toys or some pornography from the back of his car. Very bizarre story. And like sort of took a, individual revenge. Did a sort of thing that Trump was,
This police department has a real problem with this, right? Yeah. And just credit, as you say, this guy's in prison, right?
Yeah, I mean, and there are other instances of just, that is a crime. Like, I mean, is it prosecuted as frequently as it probably could be for someone, what he was suggesting is, slamming someone's head on the door of of when they're getting in the vehicle or something of that nature. And I mean, that's a crime. I mean, what you're talking about here, an assault, you're talking about, and it's kind of, it's a cowardly move too, because you're talking about someone who has their hands tied up behind their back. Yeah,
sure.
There's nothing, there's nothing proud or there's nothing respectable or tough about that. And what it does is it undermines your relationship with the community. And I mean, when you see, just watching that moment and seeing the president of the United States sort of endorsing police brutality, I mean, what does that do? How does that's not going to build up any confidence in the police department. And that's really what's important here for police departments to get their job done and be able to solve crime, is to have a good relationship with the community. But if you see a bunch of cops around there, laughing at when the president jokes about slamming some heads into doors of people who are presumed innocent of any crime when they're arrested and not been found guilty of anything, that's extraordinary. People can get arrested for very minor things, and that's a scary thing.
No, and you're right. And the police officers in back of him chuckled, giggled, and applauded.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the police department itself, Suffolk County, came out with a statement basically repudiating what the president said, that they don't agree with him and it was wrong.
Yeah,
it is a crime.
Just to be clear, last week we had the Boy Scouts of America have to come out and say, hey, we're sorry about what the president said. And then we had to kind of a bunch of different cops organizations come out and say, hey, sorry about that, what the president said. I mean,
I couldn't believe how many Republicans actually defended the president. I said, oh, come on, he wasn't.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of it was a joke.
Oh, it's just a joke. Yeah, right. This is kind of a joke. This is the same way during his campaign in the rallies where he said, come on, punch him out. Don't worry about getting, sued. I'll pay for the cost, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he actually said that, encouraging.
The thing is, it's kind of like something your uncle might say. Like, it kind of is like a little bit along those lines of like, oh, like these, whatever, like why would you be soft on criminals, blah, 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 that sort of thing. But this is the president of the United States, and he's speaking in, a role that he oversees the Justice Department, which had any of these officers been, investigated for slamming heads on doors, that's something that would fall under their purview. And, I'm sure that some criminal defense attorney somewhere is going to be bringing these comments and say, this is whatever sort of thing. I mean, look, it's endorsed by the president of the United States.